Imagine the sound of fire trucks and ambulance and the police cars racing to get to the crime scene that is down the street from where you are. Everything else is in slow motion as you walk down the street to the crime scene, only to find a body lying in the puddle of blood. Caution tape surrounds the whole area, but you are right there, being invisible to everyone else. I believe DNA profiling is very important to find loved ones that have been in uncomfortable situations or that are missing, to find a sense of reassurance. According to Sir Alec Jeffreys, the discoverer of DNA fingerprinting and teacher at the University of Lancaster, I wanted to dig below the surface of this discovery as well as that of another genetic nugget. I want to explain how DNA profiling can help crime scenes with identifying the origin of the body fluid, track down the missing person or persons, and help identify disaster victims. DNA profiling can identify the origin of the body fluid sample associated with the crime scene, like when a substance they used and what caused them to die. DNA profiling is categorized into two different groups: excreted and secreted. Excreted examples are feces, vomit, bile, and oil skin. And then secreted examples are blood, plasma, saliva, and urine. When discovering, actions may be required to make visible to the naked eye. Samples may be hard to see, that's why they require light and chemicals to make present. The investigators have to handle carefully and be put into a sealed container so they can preserve it. Although body fluid may be interesting, let's take it a further and see how DNA profiling helps missing people. DNA profiling reveals family relationships. If a person goes missing, DNA profiling will help investigators track down the missing person or persons. DNA profiling has powerful technology. They use analysis for skeletal remains and other trace evidence. Forensic genetics have a range of case studies, roles for missing people, homicides, and human rights related investigations are examples, and they investigate the living missing persons such as trafficked children. Finally, help find disaster victims that have been carried off or trapped under something in big storms. DNA profiling helps identify disaster victims that have been in major storms or natural disasters such as hurricanes and tsunamis. Each disaster has its own scenario and its own methods for identification for the victims. And they have a process to identify the victim by DNA, such as mortem, and post-mortem. For the info above that I presented to you, this is why DNA profiling is important to investigators as they try to figure out the crime scene. DNA profiling is helpful in so many ways, like using body fluid to see what happened, tracking down missing people, and help identify disaster victims. So make sure you watch those crime shows to see how they identify people and discover a crime scene step by step. Don't forget to bring your DNA profile to NCIS.